Hi there, this is Popo, I hope you'll fine. Welcome back to the Matches miniature series where we cover some matches games that happen in real life, on real boards, against real people, actually the French Matches Club you already know. So now this is the time for Alliance. And as you know, Alliance is a gorgeous faction. Because you have Tempies everywhere against your opponent, basically you can go for theoretical traps in the opening that are just insane. So if you like Chess Theory, you might like to play with Alliance. And when you get an experienced matches player, I guess you gonna see all kind of tactics with the mechs, with the scoot, with the tripod. Like you have tactics from the start to the finish, and this is very incredible to play this faction. Maybe it seems to be a little busted, but not that much, because if you know correctly how to answer this faction, I guess you can find a way to play correct games. So the game I'm going to show you, I have no other title than the Immortal Alien games. Yeah, I don't have any other title because this game is just terrific. It opposed two players you already know. So the one which is playing white is the guy which played with the centaurs, so the bold move lovers. And here the guy which is playing black is the guy which played with the genie. So you remember the overconfident guy. So this is very cool because this matchup was inverted for the fairy video you just saw earlier. So interesting. This game is just incredible. I guess you can study it and study it again. I didn't study it as deep as I wanted, but from what I'm going to show you, I guess there are a lot of things to eat actually. So the game starts with pawn to e4, pawn to e6, pawn to d4, and then a pawn to f5. And here I don't even know what this opening is about. Is this Dutch gambit or stuff like that? Dutch defense? I don't know. If you guys know what this opening is, please tell me in the comment, because I don't really know any kind of chess theory, and that would be interesting to know. How do you play in normal chess against this? So here with basically mech to d3. And okay, this is a very weird way to defend this position. Maybe you can defend with the scoot, but at that time maybe white was afraid of bishop to b4. So I don't know. And at that time I can understand that if the mech moved one square, it would trigger the other mech instantly. So maybe this is a way to gain some time. Here maybe you should develop your knight to f6, or maybe knight to c6 seems not that incredible. Maybe you can play something like d5, but with this opening I don't think so. So I think knight to f6 seems to be a good move. At least yes, or maybe that. I don't know what you're supposed to play with this kind of opening. Again, please tell me in comments. So we have pawn captures here, and that triggers the mech, because after mech captures, the other mech on the same turns move on f4. And basically you see that this game is a lot about this kind of mechanic. So we have knight to f6 finally going for this, and here I have to say this is a big mistake. Because when you know the alliance, you know that this is not even the move to play. Because now mech goes to f3 and to g5. And you might say, okay, this seems to be a reasonable attack. Not at all, because I don't know, if you play some move like this, you just have to capture this and slide within the same turn that comes with check. And you see that this is terrific what happens. So you go, for example, here. You can even capture, no, you can't capture with check, excuse me. Because if the mech make a capture, the other mech moves passively, excuse me. So let me show you the line again. Captures, go check. Here you have to only move to go here, and then you capture the queen. Incredible. I just have to say incredible. So this is a big trap that often goes with the alien. And actually you don't have a lot of ways to defend this. One of the two basic way to defend this is to play g6 or bishop e7. Bishop e7 loses, but g6 is maybe the best move to go for. But here bishop to e7 is played. And yeah, bishop to e7 is also a theoretical mistake, because now the mech can capture and still make the same check. And here basically you have to react to this, and then you won a knight. If you decide to go here, There's two ways you can answer. You can decide to put your mech here and put back, so nothing has happened. And here, okay, even you castled, you're not that good. Or even you can just snap the rook. And after go here, okay, just go back, but at least here the king side is completely empty. This is fun as hell. So here in this position, black decided to go with king to f8, not losing the rook. So a mech goes back on e5, and the other mech goes back on e2, basically. So here, just a free knight, and the king isn't castled yet. Just with two freaking mechs. This game is completely nuts. Knight to c6, kicking the mech with the idea of, okay, maybe at some point I would be able to capture this one day. And here we have mech to f4, and the other mech goes to d3. And here on this position you might say, okay, why it goes to d3? The problem is that here, when the other mech has moved, you're forced to move the mech basically. So you can go with the mech to here, but it would be kicked, so you would lose a tempo. You can go here, but it would be kicked and you lose a tempo. You can go back to f1, but this is the most stupid way to proceed, because after that you can't castle. So here basically goes on d3, and yeah, it gives the pawn actually. So this is why we have g5, which is played. I'm not sure if g5 is the best move, because that opens a lot the king side, but at least it kicks the mech. So mech goes to d2 here, and then knight captures on d4. And you might be tempted to say, okay, why actually the mech doesn't go on e3? I would say actually for the same reason that the mech moved from e2 to d3. Because if the mech goes here, you have to perform another mech move. And even if you would defend the pawn, you wouldn't have a lot of activity. I guess white wanted to stay in this diagonal, which is super strong. So I guess mech to d2 makes sense. And here, even knight to d4 is played, then you have a tempo with Sosa to g4. And here, you don't have any piece to kick you. Okay, you can still play h5 later, but here you have to do something with this knight. So a lot of ways you can do here. Maybe there can be some kind of trap, because I don't know. I'm not so much confident about this move. There can be some major trap here, because at the time the Sosa would capture something, it would trigger an instant overturn. So I guess this is why black didn't want to let this knight be just protected by a piece, decided to go back to c6. And at least it would be able to do some stuff. So here we have a scout to f3, developing the scout, and here a knight to b4 is played. You see that black is a little desperate at the time that he wants to remove one of these two mechs. And here, yeah, actually this is not that easy to replace, because if you replace here, then you can put the knight in some spot and endlessly threat one of the two mechs and try to get tempos with the pawn incoming. So the idea is not that stupid, and of course if you capture the knight, then would have recapture with the bishop that comes with check, and one of the two mechs is removed, and that would be good for black. So white decided to hang to the mechs and played mech to c3 and mech to e4, and that's a kind of bet here. But he came with a very cool idea, because after pawn to d5, which seems to be a very good move, then he played mech to d4 and mech to g6. And at that point we say, okay, this is just hanging, can take, no, because the rook is hanging. And here, basically, if you move the rook here, then you're able to snap this. And then I don't know where you put the other mech. Maybe you put that here. Oh, no. This is even better, like, if the rook moves here, just to go here and let the mech goes here, because the rook has no square. It's going to be captured. So yeah, this is even more powerful. So this is why in this position we have pawn to e5, and pawn to e5 seems to be incredible, because at first he threats to capture the mech, and at first this is a discover attack over the Sosa. So did white blunder? No, didn't blunder, because you can take the pawn on e5 and then go back with the mech on f5. Like, this is crazy as hell, isn't it? And I just remind you that your rook is hanging, as stupid as it looks. And here that's not even simple. If you want to go, for example, for a trade, that would be a huge mistake, because you're just simply gonna capture here, and then you can play the move you want at any point. So if you decide, for example, I don't know, that comes with check anyways. So I don't know if you want to play something like this move that comes with check. And here this is not that easy to defend because this is still hanging. So at some point you can decide to defend with the bishop, but like that doesn't work because this is going to be captured. So yeah, this is very powerful, and that's not that easy to defend against this because there might be some kind of threats. But here black decided to ignore that. He might see that, okay, this rook is gonna be lost because remember, if you move the rook here, this isn't the same idea as before. You just have to take this, and then you move the other back, and this is over. So here on this position, black decided to go for knight takes c2 check. And actually this is quite an interesting move because it trades the rooks. You can't take with the mech, of course, because else the bishop is gonna capture the saucer, and now you're losing the game basically. So this is why in this position white has to accept it. So we have king to f1 and knight captures a1. But here we have scoot takes g5, and here just see the position. See this lonely king. See this queen that's not doing anything. See that rook which is not doing anything. And here, like, what are you doing to defend yourself? You're just basically dead. If you want to go for a pin now, that comes with check. So this is too late. And here you would get a lot of awful stuff. For example, a king has to go here, then you just have to play this. And here you're basically blocked, and this is checkmate. You defend with the rook, and then you take, and this is game over. So you can try to, again, try to go for an exchange. But this is even worse, because you're going to take with check, and this is double check. And at that point, you move somewhere, I don't know. You, for example, go here. Then, excuse me, this is basically checkmate. Just incredible. And remember that if you go the other way, go here. Here, I guess there's some kind of overmate, like a surely a line, or just can't simply win the queen. And this goes even harder because you want to take with the rook to defend your stuff, but you can take the rook. And after you recapture, technically you can try to get some checks. So for example, you get this check, and then you can't do anything, you have to move the king. Then you take the bishop, and you put the scoot, so if there is an attack over this pawn, but this rook can't capture, defend it anymore. So this is as crazy as this. So maybe, I don't know, you decide to put the rook, I don't know, here, back, but the bishop captures. And now you have to prevent this move from happening. But this is not that easy. Yeah, here you can't slide the rook back. So and even if you go the other way, that wouldn't work. You lose a lot of material. So everything to say that there's a big threat. And even more, if you decide to play nothing and play, I don't know, knight to c2, then I can just simply put this scoot on e6. And if you capture with the bishop, I just have to capture with check, and then I would have a double check. So you go king to e8, and then I go saucer to h5. Just because you wanted to just defend your queen. So here, there are a lot of big threats here. So in order to save the queen and don't be aligned to any diagonal, black decided to play queen to e8. But here it also loses, of course. Like, this is the end of the video. So feel free to pause the video and find the correct answer for white while I give you a couple of seconds. And maybe try to calculate all the lines possible in this solution. This is even funnier because you know that this is checkmate everywhere. So I'll let you think. So I hope you saw all of the stuff. So the line goes with scoot to e6 check. Okay, scoot to e6 check, this is pretty clear that this is check, and here you don't have a lot of ways. If you play this or here, then the saucer comes and this is checkmate. So here, what's the point? Here, same thing. The only way to defend to avoid checkmate on the next turn is to take with the bishop. But guess what? This is checkmate next turn. Because you just have to slide this here. But here, I have to say that this game is pretty immortal because White decided to checkmate in a very immortal way, I have to say. He decided to take with the mech here and slide the other mech to g7, and this is checkmate. What a mate. What a combo, what a combination. Like, this is just incredible what happened over the board. So here, basically, when that happens, you may have lost the rook, but scoot to g5 is even more powerful than taking this rook, which is hanging. And this is incredible. You don't have any move to defend the position. This is just game over everywhere. So let me go back from the beginning. You have this very weird opening, and I guess this f5 idea was very bad. So, and the mech here are just gonna go for a dance. Sniping a knight, going backwards again, going backwards again. Here tempo, here you develop, here you hang to your max, and here begins the big tactic. Here you thread the rook, but here you thread the bishop, so here you win the rook. Here technically this is game over, and then goes the big combo. Let me remind you, scoot to e6 check, bishop captures, mech captures, and slides to g7 with check. This is so gorgeous. This game is just incredible. For me, this is the immortal alien game. Like, try to find any game with aliens which is more incredible than this. Maybe there would be, but at that time, please post it in the comments below, and I would cover it because I'm fascinated of how so far you can lead an attack with your two mechs and your stuff. Here, I guess every single mech might be less than a bishop, but when the two mechs are combined, they seems to have the power of 8 pawns. Like, this seems to be so powerful that you can just grab PC and stuff if they are well coordinated. This is more than 6 pawns. I'm sure that this is more than 6 pawns. I would say 8 pawns when you have the two mech combined. Yeah, that might be it. So anyways, I hope you like this game of match chess with the aliens, and I hope also you like this video. So we're going to see each other next time. See you then. Bye.